And now you got Shaquille O'Neal calling you out, which means there's big revenue.
Yes.
Which is the other factor that needs to be there for you.
That's right.
What does this mean? What does it mean with Shaquille calling you out in a big fight and you getting paid? And what are we looking at here?
It's very simple. Okay, so for one, so what it means as far as Tyson, hey, I'm the one that brought you out of retirement, and I'll put you back in it.
All right, so you'll take Tyson too.
So that's for Tyson. And as far as Shaquille O'Neal, as far as my boy Shaq, SOS, Shaq versus Sapp, well, they say the big man falls. You're a little bit taller than me, aren't you? Bye-bye.
So I guess that's an acceptance to that challenge there.
Yes, I'll definitely take on Shaq.
So you'll still take on Tyson?
Yes, no worries.
Now, when Tyson stormed the ring with you when you fought Chemo,
yes,
I remember that. That was crazy. And I just looked back at that video yesterday.
Yes.
And it's got 32 million views.
Yeah, something like that.
Not many videos have 32 million views of not a fight,
yes,
but of a man going in a ring and challenging.
Yes.
A challenge.
Yes.
A 32 million view challenge between you and Mike Tyson. And now Tyson's fighting. You obviously will fight.
Yes.
And then you had other videos that's a guy like 100 million.
Yes, that's right.
And crazy.
Sapp versus Ernesto Hus,
yeah, it's crazy. Yes. It's crazy, the views for that. So you have no problem fighting Tyson or fighting Shaq or fighting whoever.
Okay, so any of these greats that come out, and you're asking where I stand on that. I mean, I believe that many people who watch a lot of companies, everybody else, they do know where I stand, and it's no problem for me to verbalize it. Okay, you've got all these greats that are coming out of here. You've got Lennox Lewis, you've got Evander Holyfield, you've got Mike Tyson, you've got Shaquille O'Neal. You got to put them all in there, being the greats of their time. They're all a bit older. They all want to show that they can highlight with their athletic prowess and their ability. And you have myself that has Asia worldwide presence. Mm-hmm. These guys have the United States worldwide presence, and some of them have some presence internationally, but obviously nowhere near the magnitude that I have it outside of the United States. Knowing all of this stuff, all the companies, everyone else knows it. Now, it goes upon which styles and stuff like that, and I'm going to let you know.
I was going to ask you that. Like, what if these fights happen? Where would you prefer the rule set be?
So, because these are entertainment, fast-paced. First of all, no way is it going to be the same rules that you saw Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson on. I promise you that. That's 100%. I don't do that. That's not what I do. Okay, so and they don't really do that either. I think maybe the commissioner or somebody had forced them to. They feel bad on that stuff too. But so you talking about the rules? Well, it's pretty easy. You take any of those guys to do it, and we have to almost make it equal. Okay. In order, we have to make it almost equal. So I need to get you to think, could it happen, be an ooh, wow, and what? Okay? So for Shaq, MMA, bare knuckle. Mike Tyson, bare knuckle or MMA. Evander Holyfield, bare knuckle, MMA. Lennox Lewis can do kickboxing, bare knuckle, or MMA, up to his choice, okay, because he can kind of maneuver around a little bit more. But if you look at any of these boxers, what do I say? I think they should get down and dirty and say, you know what? Gloves are coming off. I'm older. I'm ready to go. This is my last chance. I'm going to be up in here. I'm going to get down and dirty. I'm going to do it for real. Let's go. Boom. Bare knuckle it. You see what I'm saying? I think they should do that one. Or if they want to use their mind and show that they're inquisitive and they can use their mind, hey, I'm ready to do. Shaq knows a little bit of MMA, so so let's get it done. You know what I mean? And let's do the MMA. And you know what? We'll leave it up for the audience to decide. We'll leave it up for the people to decide. They see all they can decide. That's what you do. We give that back. Interesting. To the people. We give that back. That's the entertainment
I'm curious what
side.
the audience would say and stuff. And with a question like that, what they'd want to see.
Yes, and so it would be. It's great. And all of that does is start allowing everyone to start to getting engagement and start doing stuff. Hey, listen, we're locked in our houses with this COVID stuff, guys. Come on, let's talk and engage. Let's have some of that challenging stuff, and then you can come on in there and welcome the criticisms of me is welcome. The hate stuff, well, that's just going to get deleted, and that's no going anywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just foolish. But the criticisms of, hey, man, Bob, you're a little bit big, but your feet, man, a little bit slow. Hey, Shaq, I think you can maneuver this guy and pop him right there, But interesting enough, I don't believe Shaq's got a longer reach than I do.
Yeah.
So I've got an extremely long reach. So he's tall, but I bet you if I put my hands right up to him, I bet you my hands can go exactly over his or right at the top.
That was crazy, man, when I saw him call you out last week. Yeah. I knew it was coming. I knew there was going to be some update with you after this fight with Tyson and Jones, yes. and I knew you had part of it and everything. and then or Tyson in the beginning.
Yes.
And so I knew whatever happens next, you're going to be in the mix somehow because you're going to be a main guy they're going to call out because you're that big figure, you know?
Yes.
And then I saw that, and I'm like, Shaquille, I'll be damned. He's the one. He's the one that's going to speak up and call you out, and I don't think there'd be a lack of people wanting to watch that.
Right. And any of them engaging in those rules that we're talking about, now you've got something. Now that's combat entertainment. Let's still keep it the combat realm, especially when you're putting those zeros onto it to whatever, right? So the least amount of combat gets you the least amount of zeros. The more zeros in there, then yeah, you got to engage in the combat. That's what you're getting. You're paid in there to do exactly that. So you've got to top it up. And Mike will let you know what's going on for sure. You see what I'm saying? And so same thing with Shaq. He'll let you know what's going on for sure. You know what I mean? Nobody's getting in that ring for a smaller amount of money. You're not going to see that amount of combat. That's what you're paying for, the combat, okay? Yeah. So you want to see that combat,
that risk.
Right. You want to see that risk, that factor to whatever, right? Even when anyone's going at war, the budget happens to be quite high. I think we even know that from the United States and how much sometimes they spend on their military, okay? You know what I mean? So they're no putting a few pennies in there and expecting, you know what I mean? So same thing. You want to engage in some high-level combat. The more zeros go in there, then it changes. So I think that those styles that we have for sure. And it's in there. Again, it's not like we're asking for $1 billion or something like that.
Right.
So, but
there's money out. I mean,
the money's there, and it's there, and it's offered, and we're just gonna have to wait and see exactly how this transpires. But always think, sometimes as you see something on television, and you never know whether the beast is actually involved, and he's just saying anything. Yeah. I think maybe now that they've kind of starting to learn a little bit, like, wow, Bob was around in that. He engaged in that, yes. So I don't report on Instagrams and Facebooks and stuff.